90 millennium years ago, after the dinosaurs extinct, fairies and the other creatures lived in this world. Not those what we all know today. These creatures were nice and kind to humans, but the humans were greedy for power and wealth that made them attack the fairies and spirits to steal the treasures from these creatures and sell them like possessions on the store and in a cage with chains attached to the creatures' feet or necks. Humans mistreated these creatures for a long time, to the point where these creatures don't trust on the humans ever again anymore. The fairies are treated like a birds or a toys for the humans. Humans believe that the fairies' heart is in their wings and they follow whatever their owner says. It's true about the heresy, but it's cordwing fairies or vesperwings fairies. A small winged creatures that has heart inside their wings that can harm them or kill them if someone pluck one of their wings and crush it with that someone's hands. The fairy feel extremely pain or it can die. In the present day, Rumi woke up from her slumber. She got up out of the bed and start her routine before she went downstairs to cook breakfast for herself and for her pets, Holy Tiger, Thunderbolt Eagle, Fire Lion and Slimes. After she eat breakfast and take a shower before she get dressed in her adventurer outfit. She went out with her furry companions. She locked the door before they leave and went to their journey. Her companions are hiding in her shadow. She went to the market to buy her supplies for her journey today. She gather everything she needs, but she walk past by a store where the fairies are sold. She feel pity and sympathy towards the fairies, but she don't have any choice but to walk away, but she saw the price. It's cheaper than jewelries of the nobles. 2 gold coins per fairy. She only have 500 gold coins and it's enough for her essentials a day, but she had to help some of the fairies. She walked inside the tent to ask the seller when she saw human-sized vesperwings fairy. It has black long hair, majestic outfit that twinkling like stars. It has pointy ears, golden eyes and transparent wings like a glass, but one of its wings got plucked out by the shop owner as a leverage against the fairy. Rumi feels sympathy towards it. The owner walk in and pull out a pouch that has contains of the fairy's other wing. Rumi tried to stop the owner, but the owner shoved her so hard that made her furry companions come out of her shadow, but she stopped them in time before it's out of control. She immediately stand up and she told the owner that she'll buy the human-sized fairy and some of the vesperwings fairies in the cages outside too for 100 gold coins.
I'll buy him. And the other fairies outside of your shop.
Rumi immediately pull out 2 big pouches of big gold coins and she give it to the owner before the owner give the pouch with the fairy's other wing to Rumi after he received the payments. Rumi immediately unlock the chains and free the fairy from the cruelty. She immediately pull the other wing out of the pouch and try to put it back on the fairy's back. And it works. The fairy look at confusedly. It don't know why is Rumi nice to it. Rumi just smile as she attached the other wing on the fairy's back gently. She carefully unlocked the chains that attached around its neck. She immediately stand up before she went outside and she did the same thing to the other small vesperwings fairies. She let them fly around and no more restraint or mistreated.
You always have a choice to fight for yourselves or for your loved ones. Rumi advice.
Rumi yelp when she feel a big and strong arms snake around her waist. She turned her head over her shoulder. She saw the human-sized fairy hugging her. She blink and try to free herself from the hug, but the fairy tighten the hug that make Rumi can't escape.
Let me go. Mine. Huh. Rumi is confused.
The fairy hug her very tight. He placed his face on the crook of Rumi's neck. He inhaled her scent as if he's trying to print it in his memories for the future. Rumi look at the fairies for help or for the answer, but the fairies just shrug and let the fairy hug her. Rumi stopped resisting, but she remembered that she has a mission to do today. She tapped the fairy's arm and she spoke gently.
Hey, can you let me go? I have a mission right now and I have to gather the essentials before I go. Rumi tried to convince the fairy to let go of her an instant as she pout.
The fairy reluctantly let Rumi go and sulk, but his face is nonchalant and calm. Rumi sighs out of relief because she broke free. Rumi slowly turned to face the fairy and saw his pouty face. Rumi chuckles before she spoke so sweetly and softly to the fairy.
Hey, don't pout like that, you all can come with me though. Rumi giggles as she said that.
The fairy's face lit up when he heard that and he hugged Rumi again very tight. Rumi gently taps his shoulder and the fairy let her go. Rumi think an idea how can she sneak the fairies around. She look around and saw a cloak in the store, so she turned to the fairy. She smile and sigh before she spoke to the fairy sweetly that make the fairy feel more relaxed and comfortable around her.
Hey, wait here, okay. And don't let humans see you. You knew what happened, right?
She didn't let the fairy response. She run to the store to buy the cloak for the human-size fairy, more fabrics and materials for the future investment. She immediately pay for everything before she went back to the fairies and show everything to them. She helped the human-size fairy to wear the cloak to hide his wings from the eyes of the fairy hunters or other humans that hunt fairies on sight. She also put a beanie on the fairy to hide its pointy ears. She saw his hair is very long, so she tell the fairy that she need to trim his hair, but the human-size fairy still have a trauma, so he got panic and tried to harm Rumi, but Rumi hug him to calm him down. In a few moments he calmed down and he apologized to Rumi. Rumi wave her hand in dismissive and she smiled before she spoke again to the human-size fairy in calm and soothing tone.
Just calm down, okay? It's alright. I'm not harm you. I need to trim your hair, okay? You look like a girl in that hairstyle. Rumi laughed her ass off as she tried to convince the fairy to trim his hair.
The fairy sighs and nodded before he turned around and sit down to let Rumi trim his hair little bit. Rumi looked pleased by his actions. She immediately pull out the scissor and comb for the hairdo on the fairy. Several moments, Rumi is finished and she give him the mirror. The fairy is shocked when he saw his reflection on the mirror. He's so amazed at Rumi's skills. He can't believe that's his new look now. His mouth is gaping like a fish on land right now. Rumi stand up after she pack everything up.
Let's go. I have to do my mission fast.
The fairy follow Rumi to her carriage alongside with the tiny fairies. She mount in the carriage, so does the fairy.